Ladies and gentlemen, I think the greatest tragedy in life is not death. It is life without purpose. It is waking up each day with no intention to become better than who you were yesterday. You were not born just to make a living. You were born to make a difference, and you cannot make a difference until you begin to grow deliberately, daily, and decisively. There are 6 areas I believe every person must improve every single day, not once a year, not when trouble comes knocking, but every day. These 6 things are not just habits, they are pillars of destiny. Let's walk through them. Everything begins in the mind. Your thoughts are architects of your reality. You must ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind today? Stop allowing toxic thinking, fear, small ideas, and excuses to take root. You cannot live above the level of your thinking. Train your mind to believe in possibilities, to expect greatness, and embrace growth. Renew your mind daily, because a renewed mind leads to a transformed life. Talent can get you in the room, but only character can keep you there. Who you are when no one is watching is who you really are, and you must improve your integrity, your discipline, your humility, your honesty every day. Check yourself. Am I becoming a person that others can trust, respect, follow? Reputation is what people say about you. Character is what heaven knows about you. You were not born empty. There is something inside you that the world needs, but gifts don't grow in their own. You must cultivate them. Practice them. A gift makes room for you, but only when you work on it every day. Improve your skill, study, train, sharpen it until excellence becomes your default. Refinement. You don't get paid for potential, you get paid for refinement. Time is the currency of purpose. Wasting time is wasting life. Improve how you use your hours, because your hours become your years. Cut distractions, set priorities, learn to say no. People who value purpose don't entertain everything. They protect their time like treasure. You don't go further alone. You go further with the right people. Surround yourself with people stretch you, challenge you, correct you, and believe in you every day. Ask, am I becoming a better friend, partner, leader? Relationships must be nurtured. Offense must be forgiven. Communication must be clear. Destiny is often unlocked by divine connections. Manage them well. You are not just body and mind. You are spirit. A strong life comes from a strong inner foundation. Every day invest in your soul. Pray, reflect, be silent, be grateful, reconnect with the one who made you, because your source determines your strength. Power, wisdom, peace all flow from your spiritual center. Keep it strong. Improvement is not a seasonal project, it is a lifelong commitment. You're born to grow, born to evolve, born to rise. The version of you the world needs tomorrow depends on what you improve today. So work on your mind, refine your character, develop your gift, guard your time, build your relationships, strengthen your spirit. And because the world doesn't need a perfect you, it needs a growing you. Purpose is the foundation of progress, because without it movement has no meaning. You can be busy and still go nowhere. Where activity does not equal advancement. Many people wake up every day and go through the motions, working hard, running fast, chasing goals. But if those goals are not rooted in a deeper why, then progress becomes circular, not directional. Purpose gives clarity to your decisions. It defines what deserves your energy and what doesn't. It tells you not only what to pursue, but also what to walk away from without purpose. Talent is wasted, time is misused, and life feels empty, even when it's full of accomplishments. Purpose gives pain a reason. It turns struggle into strategy and failure into fertilizer for growth. When you understand your purpose, you stop being easily distracted. You're not swayed by comparison, competition, or applause, because you're anchored in something deeper than popularity. You're anchored in meaning. You no longer ask, what should I do today? But rather, what must I do to move closer to who I was born to become? People who walk in purpose don't need to be pushed. Their vision pulls them. They don't need external motivation, because internal conviction drives them. Progress without purpose is motion without direction. But when purpose leads, progress follows. Focused, intentional, and unstoppable self-discipline is the master key because it unlocks every door that talent alone cannot open. You can have vision, you can have goals, and you can even have passion, but without discipline, none of it will last. Discipline is the quiet force that keeps you consistent. When the excitement fades, it's what gets you out of bed. When comfort says stay, it's what keeps you practicing. When no one's watching, dreams are easy to imagine, but they are expensive to achieve, and the currency is discipline, is the ability to govern yourself, to say no to good things so you can say yes to the right things. Discipline trains your focus, sharpens your habits, and builds your resilience. It helps you do what you must do, even when you don't feel like doing it. Emotion is a terrible master, but discipline is a faithful guide. It doesn't rely on moods, feelings, or motivation. It relies on decision, the decision to keep going, the decision to stay committed, the decision to honor the process. Success doesn't come to those who want it most. It comes to those who are willing to endure the price. Discipline makes sure you don't abort what you were meant to deliver. It separates those who wish from those who work, those who start from those who finish. Every great life is built on a foundation of small disciplined choices made over time. That's why it's not just a habit, it's a master key. Growth is not automatic, because time alone doesn't make you better. Intention does. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you're getting wiser. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're becoming effective. Growth is a choice, not a guarantee. You have to pursue it. You have to plan for it. You have to make room for it, even when it's uncomfortable. Many people assume that life will teach them everything they need to know, but life doesn't teach you. By default, it teaches you when you're paying attention. If you don't intentionally stretch your thinking, challenge your habits, and expose yourself to better environments, you'll stay stuck in cycles that look like movement, but aren't. Growth requires awareness, seeing where you really are, and honesty, admitting what needs to change, and then it demands action even when it's inconvenient. You cannot grow by accident. No one drifts into excellence. You have to show up for your own transformation. Read, reflect, ask questions, take risks, fail forward, learn again. Growth happens when you step beyond what is familiar and into what is necessary. It's not just about adding more to your life, but removing what no longer serves your future. Real growth is often quiet. It's not loud or dramatic. It shows up in discipline, in better decisions, in stronger relationships, and in clearer purpose. It happens over time, not overnight, but the key is it must be pursued without effort. You don't grow, you settle. Without intention, you don't evolve, you repeat. Growth is possible for anyone, but is automatic for no one. Your value increases with your development, because who you are becoming determines what you can handle, what you can contribute, and what you attract. The more you grow, the more capacity you have for responsibility, for influence, for impact. People don't get promoted based solely on potential. They get promoted based on preparation. Development is the process that transforms raw ability into refined excellence. It turns gifts into solutions, and solutions into significance. You were born with something valuable inside you, but value unused is value unseen. Development brings it to the surface. It refines your thinking, strengthens your habits, sharpens your skills, and deepens your wisdom. Every time you choose to learn, to train, to stretch, to improve, you're increasing your worth to the world around you. You become a better communicator, a stronger leader, a more stable person. And as you grow, people begin to trust you with more because you've proven you can manage more. This is why investing in your growth is not selfish, it's strategic. Because the more developed you are, the more lives you can touch. The problems you solve become bigger. The rooms you enter become higher. The influence you carry becomes stronger. And the opportunities that once pass you by begin to look for you. You don't need to chase everything. When you've become someone worth finding, value is not about status, it's about substance, and substance is built over time through consistent development. If you want your life to rise, raise your standard. If you want your opportunities to grow, grow your capacity. You increase your Value not by pretending to be more, but by becoming more, and becoming more is always the result of intentional continuous development. Daily routines shape destiny, because what you do consistently builds who you become eventually. Destiny is not something you stumble into, it's something you grow in. One choice at a time. Your future is hiding in your daily habits, the way you spend your morning, how you manage your time, what you focus on, what you ignore. These small repeated actions are silently constructing the path you're walking. Many people think destiny is discovered in a dramatic moment. It's actually revealed in quiet decisions. It's not the big events that shape your life. Most it's the small disciplines no one sees, the books you read, the conversations you entertain, the thoughts you allow to linger, the way you treat your body, the time you invest in your gift. These aren't just routines, they are bricks in the foundation of your future. You can't expect a different outcome from the same patterns. If your routine is sloppy, your results will be random. If your routine is intentional, your results will be transformational. The secret to a powerful life is not hidden in a year's worth of resolutions, it's hidden in a day's worth of decisions. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. Excellence isn't an event, is a lifestyle, and that lifestyle is crafted in your daily routine. When you master the day, you shape the year. When you master mundane, you shape the meaningful. Destiny is not a mystery, it's a product of rhythm, discipline, and priority. If you want to change your life, start by changing your day, because what you do every day is shaping what you'll become for the rest of your life. Excellence is a habit, not an act, because greatness is never the result of a one-time performance, it's the outcome of consistent behavior. You don't become excellent by doing something well once, you become excellent by choosing to do it well again and again, especially when it's hard, especially when no one is watching. It's not about impressing others occasionally, but about honoring a standard constantly. People often admire the results of excellence without recognizing the repetition behind it, the polished performance, the breakthrough moment, the recognition. It all traces back to daily choices made in silence. Excellence is forged in the ordinary. It's not about being perfect, it's about being committed to doing your best every time, even when it's inconvenient or unnoticed. This is why excellence cannot be faked or fast-tracked. It's not about talent alone. It's about discipline, attitude, and intention. When you make excellence a habit, you raise the level of everything around you. You become dependable, trustworthy, respected, not because you're always spectacular, but because you're always consistent, and consistency is what builds credibility. Through excellence doesn't compete with others, it competes with yesterday. It's a personal standard that says, I refuse to do anything halfway. It turns average moments into meaningful ones. It transforms small tasks into opportunities for growth. And over time, it separates those who are good from those who are unforgettable, because in the end, it's not what you do once that defines you, it's what you do daily. Excellence is not a performance, it's a lifestyle. What you don't manage, you lose, because neglect is the fastest way to forfeit what you've been given. Everything in your life, your time, your health, your relationships, your finances, your purpose, is a form of resource, and every resource requires stewardship. Management is the proof that you value what you have. When you fail to manage something, it begins to decay. It doesn't matter how gifted you are, how blessed you are, or how much potential you carry. If you don't manage it, you won't keep it. Time, unmanaged, turns into wasted years. Money, unmanaged, leads to stress and scarcity. Relationships, unmanaged, drift into distance. Health, unmanaged, becomes limitation. Even purpose, if left unmanaged, becomes buried under busyness and distraction. Management is not control, it's care with intention. It means being aware, being present, and being strategic. It means saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that grow you. You were never meant to maintain everything, but you were called to manage what matters. What you manage, you multiply. What you manage, you protect. When you manage well, you position yourself For more responsibility, more trust, more opportunity. But when you neglect what's in your hands, life begins to take it away, not as a punishment, but as a principle, because anything valuable will deteriorate when it's left unattended. Management reveals maturity. It shows you're not just excited about receiving something, you're ready to sustain it. And that's the difference between people who have moments and those who build legacies. It's not about how much you start with, it's about how well you handle it. Because in the end, what you don't manage, you will inevitably lose. You attract what you become, because life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are aligned with, the energy you carry, the mind set you hold, the habits you live by. All of these shape the people, opportunities, and experiences that come into your life. You can desire success, peace, or meaningful relationships. But if your character, behavior, and thinking don't reflect those things, they will always remain just out of reach. What you attract is a reflection of your internal environment. If you grow in confidence, you begin to attract people who respect confidence. If you grow in discipline, you begin to attract responsibilities that match your consistency. If you live with integrity, doors open that are reserved for those who can be trusted. The world responds to who you are, not who you pretend to be. This is why transformation must happen from the inside out. Becoming better isn't about impressing others, it's about elevating your inner standard. As you evolve, you create a new atmosphere around you, and that atmosphere speaks louder than your words. People sense it, environments shift because of it, opportunities find their way to you, not because you chase them, but because who you are becoming is now a magnet for what once felt out of reach. You don't attract what you admire, you attract what you mirror. That's why growth isn't just about achieving more, it's about becoming more. You change your life not by forcing things to happen, but by becoming the kind of person that those things naturally gravitate toward. The law is simple and profound. You attract what you become. So the focus should never just be on pursuit, it should be on be, because the right things come to the right version of you. Legacy is built in the quiet, because it's in the unseen moments, the small choices, and the consistent action that shape who we truly are. The world may celebrate the loud victories, the public milestones, and the grand achievements, but true legacy is not forged in the spotlight. It's built in the early mornings, when no one is watching, in the late nights, when no one is applauding. It's in the sacrifices that are made when the reward is not immediate and the recognition is not guaranteed. What you do in the quiet is what shapes the core of your character. It's how you handle adversity when no one is around to see it, how you treat people when there's nothing to gain, how you stand by your principles when it's easier to compromise. These moments of integrity, of patience, of quiet persistence, they build a foundation for a legacy that lasts, because legacy is not just about what people remember you for, but the impact you have, the character you develop, and the lives you've touched in ways they may never fully understand. The work you do in the choir is the preparation for what will come to light later. It's the hours spent honing your craft, developing your skills, and refining your heart. It's the discipline of being consistent when no one is giving you cred. People only see the fruit, they don't see the seeds being planted. They only see the outcome, they don't see the inner transformation. But it is in these quiet, uncelebrated moments that the true legacy is written. True legacy is not about fame or recognition. It's about the value you've created that continues to impact the world even when you're no longer here. It's about the relationships you've nurtured, the wisdom you've imparted, and the lives you've influenced. It's the quiet contributions, the gentle encouragements, the behind the scenes work that others may never fully comprehend, but that have shaped generations. And it's in quiet, where no applause follows, that real legacy is built, because it's in the unseen moments where true greatness resides. Remember that the true measure of a life well lived is not found in the noise, the accolades, or the external markers of success. It is found in the quiet, in the discipline, in the choices you make when no one is watching. Your legacy is not determined by a single moment, but by the consistent intentional actions you take every day, every small improvement, every act of integrity, every decision to grow shapes the future you will leave behind, your purpose, your development. And the way you manage your life are the building blocks of a powerful legacy that will outlast your time on earth. Excellence is not an act, but a habit, and greatness is not stumbled upon. It is cultivated in the quiet moments when you choose to become better. So take ownership of your daily choices, recognize that you are the architect of your destiny, and as you continue to grow, manage, and improve, understand that the life you are building today will speak long after you're gone. Strive to become the kind of person who not only dreams of a better world, but becomes the force that makes it a reality. Your legacy begins now, in the quiet, in the small steps, in the unseen moment. Make them count.